episode 105 of We the GamerCast. It's the official podcast of WeTheNerdy.com. I spit up in my mouth a little bit, so it's a little weird. I'm a little sick. Thank you so much for listening. This show publishes on iTunes and Google Play and mother-loving YouTube every single Monday. Whether I'm sick and coughing and I don't know how I'm getting through this, I might sound a little weird to you guys. Thank you so much for being here once again, returning after last week. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for rating us on iTunes and sharing. And a big special thank you and a high five to our executive producers, Nick Militia from Next Level Games, Joel Brooks, James Johnson, Dr. Doom, Jesse Armstrong, Sheldon Benedict, Glauco Schaefer, David Ray, Joey Hare, and Mike Drummy. Holy crap, there's a lot of you guys. Thank you so much because you have made us better. Once again, we've hit another milestone. And this show is going to be more coming to you, more coming at you. A lot of you guys have been requesting for return guests. You have your favorites. Some of you have been on the show and you want to come back. Now it's going to happen. Starting in October, we will have recurring guests. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself because if you're new, here's the deal. Every week I have sweet hangs with a stranger from the internet. And we talk about video games, sometimes a lot more, sometimes just video games. And it's amazing. And if you want to be part of the show, just tweet at me. It's at Sean Capri, Sean like Connery Capri, like the pants. I referred to last week. Thank you guys for coming back. And a very special thank you once again to Lohr and everybody who reached out to him and to me. And I won't mention names because it was a very personal episode and a very personal response that I got from a lot of you guys. And I just want to say thank you. I'm glad. I think it helped a little bit. I know that it helped me, and I think that it helped quite a few people out there. And whether or not like this is something that touches you quite as personally, I think it was maybe just interesting. It was a different episode, that's for sure. So if you missed it and you want to know what I'm talking about, go back to episode 104, Lohr. It will go down as, like I said, I'll just say it's one of the most important episodes, at least for me. And this show, as I've mentioned 100 times, and last week just reaffirms it, this show has just enhanced my life more than I could ever imagine. And I thank you guys so much for just being here on this ride with me. And again, supporting us on Patreon, or if we're listening, just being here is amazing. Checking us out on youtube.com/WeTheNerdy. I really appreciate it, guys. This is incredible. I don't know where this energy is coming from, to be honest with you. Like, I feel like ass. I feel like I'm actually kind of sweaty, just kind of like talking here. It's not particularly hot. I've been kind of just fighting a bit of a cold and taking special Canadian cold medicine. I'm feeling a little woozy these days, actually, just with all the drowsy medication that I've been trying to knock myself out. But also having a baby is hard. Like, it's hard to really give yourself the rest when you've got, a kid who will wake up in the middle of the night or needs a diaper change. Whether I'm the one doing it or not, it's a little tough. So I'm just dealing with that right now. But this show, I get to amp it up a little bit, and it's amazing. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything here, guys. Let me just take a quick second. David Ray. Here's a special shout out to David Ray. I'm so sorry, man. Speaking of crazy schedules and stuff, I swear to goodness, I've been trying to hook up with Dave for like 2 weeks, play some games. Let's do it this week, man. Let's just pick a night. Let's make it happen. I got to play some games. I'm loving all the multiplayer stuff that's happening these days. I feel like it started with Splatoon, and then all of a sudden, everybody wants to play multiplayer again. Now it's with Destiny, and there's so much else. We got to play some Titanfall with Lohr. Everything. Guys, let's make it happen. There was an Overwatch weekend. Played a little bit with the Informant, Annie Penezic, and Johnny Casino. I'm going to say it really fast so I don't mess it up. I probably still did. Sorry, guys. I think guys, I'm curious to know if you're going to jump on that. I've got it on PlayStation. Maybe double dip on Xbox because I'd rather just play there, to be honest with you guys. But yeah, man, I'm pumped about all these games. I'm excited. I played the Forza 7 demo, and I love that game. You guys already know that about me. I love Forza. I think it is the pinnacle of racing games. I played Project Cars 2, rated that or reviewed that on We the Nerdy. I don't get it. I don't like it. I don't think it's playable. I don't understand. This is a very strange thing. I think I skipped this last week because I didn't really want to talk too much about anything else other than what we were going over last week. But I don't understand what I'm missing with Project Cars. It is so hard, and I'm trying to draw a connection to Dark Souls and Bloodborne, where I was able to turn that corner, and I feel like I've turned a corner, pardon the pun, with Forza, with Motorsport. That's always been like the very intimidating racing sim, and I can grasp it. I can put my hands around that wheel, and I can play Forza. I feel like Project Cars 2 is missing that on-ramp. It's like, if you don't get it, it's a big middle finger to you. And I don't like that. I don't think the game should be built that way. I think there should always be a way for people to just jump in. That's all I'm going to say about that. And I feel like that is there for Bloodborne and Dark Souls, by the way. It is there. I didn't see it with my time with Project Cars, unfortunately. I talked a little bit about that on my other show, the Xbox Drive, which I record with Dave Moore every week. That drops every Thursday, it seems. We record every Thursday, and I think we're just going to stick to Thursdays. And I record it while I drive to work, safely, hands-free, of course. But hopefully you guys can squeeze that into your podcasting time. It's about a half an hour. It's my commute. So hopefully it matches up with your commute. I think that that's pretty nice. So yeah, man, just playing some Destiny 2. I want to, maybe this is for Adam Leonard. I'll just go on a tangent for 10 minutes here and talk about Destiny 2. No, I'm just kidding. Mario Rabbids, I'm playing a little sports games. So just to kind of give you guys a little idea, if you have any of these games, we want to jump in, let's do this. My gaming time pretty consistently has been, I would say safely, like 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time and beyond. And that's it, man. It's been good. I hope you guys have been doing great. I hope you had a good week. I hope this week is great for you. And also, quick moment of silence for our backlogs, because it's going to get nasty here, everybody. We're venturing into fall. I don't know about you. I've seen a lot of the forecast from wherever you guys are living, and it's not what it is here. We are in the middle of fall, heading into winter. And the gaming is right there with the weather, man. Like, it's like as soon as Destiny hit, we've got Mario coming up, we've got Forza coming up. It's just madness. And maybe some of you are playing Madden even too. So good luck to everybody. I hope that your backlog is treating you well. I feel like I want to do what Johnny Casino has recently done, which is compile a list of all the games and maybe come up with some sort of plan. I feel like that might end up in a really... I might just not want to do that. But for some reason, I feel like it helps me accomplish something. Does that make... I feel like some of you guys might know what I'm talking about, like making the list, at least just trying to conceptualize how bad is it. Because right now I feel like it's insurmountable. It may be, but maybe if I list them out, I can maybe just weed some out and just put them away forever. That might make me feel a little bit better. But anyways, I've rambled on, guys. I've missed doing this. It's been a little while since I've done that, and hopefully you guys enjoy this show. We're back on track. We're going to talk a lot about video games, our love about video games with my very good friend, Toby Thornton, who you guys know, of course, previously of the GeekCast, now on the Nintendo PlayStation podcast. You make him better as well by supporting us on patreon.com/makeusbetter. And this is so amazing. Toby and I have podcasted so often together. I was on the very first episode of the Nintendo PlayStation podcast, and we talked after the show about how we should do this more often, and I think we should. This was amazing. I hope you guys really like it. Please follow Toby. He is at Toby's_take. Here he is, Toby Thornton.
Being stuck on the sofa like boneless chicken.
Toby, well, I hope that didn't ruin it, because I wanted to start today's show like I do each and every week with our geek outs. Actually, I literally never start my geek outs.
Shout out!
I hope this is putting you on the spot or anything, but what are you geeking out about, man? Turns out this is a really great way to start the show.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've already done a geek out today, so I'm sort of I've blown my geek out load already, so. I was geeking out about us reaching our Patreon goal, so that now I've got 2 videos a month coming.
Dude, that is... I might be your number one fan of your videos, by the way.
Yeah, it feels that way, and I love that. That's brilliant. But I'm planning on doing something a bit different. Rather than having 2 episodes of the same series every month, I've got an idea for a second series, and actually, I need to ask you for something.
Okay.
So,
should we just talk about it right now?
Yeah, sort of.
Let's do it.
I could tell you what the thing is. I mean, should I just come out with it? What it is?
Let's just workshop it out in the open, man.
All right. So, the idea is it's called the cheapest game at the store, and the idea is I want to either go out to a shop or go onto the PlayStation Store, find the very cheapest game I can buy, or one of the cheapest games, buy it without even looking at it, and then just see how good or bad it is.
Toby, this is the best idea ever. Where did this come from? This is amazing.
Well, I don't know. I just thought, like, what could I do for a new video series? And I thought, you know, I don't want it to cost too much. I don't want it to be like too similar to what I'm already doing. So I thought maybe this will be a bit fun. And so anyway, I've come up with an intro song.
Okay.
And it's got music that I've written and lyrics.
Okay.
And
are
the
you
thing
gonna
is,
play
like,
it?
no, I'm not gonna play it.
Oh, it looked like you're looking at like your phone or something, as if you're like queuing it up. I
was gonna read you the lyrics.
Okay.
But the thing is, like, I play guitar. I'm okay at it. I'm not like an expert or anything, and I sing as well. But I know that I'm not a great singer. So
I'm the same as you, man.
So I've recorded an acoustic version of it on my computer, but I'm not sure if it's good enough. So Bobby tells me that you sing and play guitar.
No, but I'm the same. Like, I know a couple chords. Like, I can, like, I play along with other music, and then I feel.
All right. So
you know
I'll tell you what. I will send you an audio copy of this song.
Oh, I can't wait.
And then I'll give you the two. It's only 2 chords, so it's very, very easy. And I want you to try it, if you want to record your version of it, and then we'll see.
I've got a guitar right here. You should just tell me right now, and then we'll just do this right now. Wouldn't that just be amazing if you could just, like, I don't even know if this thing is in tune. It's so old. It's got more dust on it than I am embarrassed about.
Yeah.
No, let's not do that. I got people excited a little bit.
Yeah. Everyone was like, "Ooh, free show."
Oh my god, it's gonna be a guitar. Oh
yeah.
No, it's not happening, guys. Sorry. I got people sleeping. I got dogs sleeping in the next room. It's not happening.
So I'll read you the lyrics quickly.
Okay.
You know it doesn't matter if you're really poor. You can always go and buy the cheapest game at the store. Well, don't buy Mario and don't buy Zelda. Don't you even buy Gears of War. Save your money instead and buy the cheapest game at the store.
Yay!
So,
freaking love it, because I was worried that you were gonna start running out of games. Well, I don't even know. I mean, this may still be a problem because you're not. It's not like you're closing one for the other. But if you were to ramp up to 4 a month or whatever it's gonna end up being, that you're gonna end up running out of games that you know are great that everybody else either doesn't know about or that they hate. Like, that's pretty challenging.
The thing is, like, the sort of description of that video series, it's just basically it's hidden gems. Right. And you know, I'm playing a little bit fast and loose with it because I know that there are fans of Kirby's Dream Course. It's just not a vocal majority of people. So you know, I've got plenty of games that I know that I love that I don't really hear people talking about, and I think that, you know, it's going to be a long time before I run out of games that I could do.
That's good to hear, because you have a really interesting way, I think I found, like, from the very early days of the GeekCast, I'm like, man, Toby's just got this way of, like, making me, like, interested in a game that I either want to play or haven't gotten to yet, or, like, the way that you used to do those Zelda videos, the dungeon, you used to describe all the dungeons.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, I always, actually, why don't you talk about that, because where can people find those, and, like, where did that all come from? Because you're very analytical, but talk about it in a way that's interesting.
Yeah, that comes from a place of me really wanting to be a game designer.
Oh, okay.
Like, that's, like, deep down, like, a dream of mine that I know will probably never happen, but I thought, you know, my favorite game series is Zelda. And ever since I was little, I've really just enjoyed those games, especially the dungeon side of it. So, you know, when I was little, I used to make my own dungeons on the carpet out of pogs. Do you know what pogs are?
Oh, of course. Actually, we got Chelsea's collection in the garage. We just found them at her parents' place.
So I used to spread them out on the floor and make my own dungeon layouts. And I'd have, instead, because I didn't have a Link character or anything. So instead, I had a little Garfield toy. And that was my Link. And I used to go through the dungeon with that, and I was like making my own sort of Zelda dungeons out of it. So And then, so I've always been interested in these games, and I thought, wouldn't it be interesting to sort of explain to people what makes the dungeons so good in Zelda games?
What made your dungeons good?
The pogs, the slammers, yeah. And I would have like secret walls that you would turn a pog round to get through and stuff. Like, yeah.
So was it just for you? Could you bring friends over or anything to like try
No,
it
it was-
out? Like,
it
was
was-
it playable at all?
It was single player. It was just me like going around the dungeon. Like I used to make cards as well. I've got some little real life cards that I've made. I drew pictures of Link and Zelda and Ganondorf and an ocarina, a bit like Pokemon
I
cards,
love it.
really.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. Where is that stuff?
Well, the videos are on Bobby's channel.
But what about the cards and everything? Like, do you
the
still
ca-
have
the-
all the things that you
Yeah,
made?
I've still got the cards. I think they're over there on that shelf somewhere, maybe. I don't know.
How many
They're
shelves do you have? Like, now I'm looking at a different camera angle, and like, it's funny because we both have like the same IKEA shelf in the back, but it almost looks like we may be in the same room. It's just like different walls.
Yeah, we're just opposite each other.
Yeah, we're actually recording live from IKEA right
Yeah.
now. We've traveled to this. This is very strange. We were looking at like we got our little computer desk that we've got set up in there. We actually put a real computer in there instead of the cardboard screens. No, I'm just kidding. That's not what's happening, everybody.
I was going to say, it's a little awkward that we're both not wearing any trousers or pants, but, you know.
I mean, we're role playing. We're
Yeah.
role playing a little bit. What's your favorite Zelda, man?
It's going to have to be A Link to the Past.
Is it?
Yeah.
I guess didn't you just say that on a video that is that
Yeah.
your favorite game of all time?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I love that one, and actually, A Link Between Worlds is very close to that as well.
Yes. Okay, so I haven't played every Zelda, as Bobby reminds me all the time, but that might be my favorite, like, of all time. A Link Between Worlds, I think, is so incredible, so easy to pick up. Like, if you've never played a Zelda game, like, I feel like that's the one that you give people. Maybe I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's super flexible and very smooth. Like, the pacing's brilliant. When it sort of lets you off the reins a bit after the first couple of dungeons, then it is very exciting to sort of explore the world. I think the downside to that game is the item management system,
Like the rental system.
Yeah, I think that the design of the dungeons is let down a little by the fact that you have to rent an item to go into it in the first place. It's not like you're discovering an item in there, which is, because the Zelda dungeons are so great the classic dungeons are great that you go into them without the item that you find in them, and it's like the whole dungeon's like one big puzzle that the rooms interlock, and it's like a maze. And when you find that key item, you suddenly have a different way of looking at the dungeon and looking at the entire puzzle. It's like it gives you a different perspective to it.
Right.
So
Nice, man. Well, okay, so like what I've heard you talk about Breath of the Wild and how like there's not real like the dungeons really aren't really dungeons. And so like now we've got A Link Between Worlds, we've got a Breath of the Wild. Like, are we getting away from the classic dungeons? Like, do you see Nintendo going back to that ever?
It certainly feels that way, and that's a little disappointing to me. But I'm hoping that Nintendo will see a little bit of the criticism in that, like, people still have nostalgia for those dungeons, and I think they need to find like a happy medium between the two design philosophies.
Yeah. What about the DLC?
Like
what about the Champions? The bear? What the hell is it called? The Ballad of the Champions? The Champions Ballad?
I mean, what do we really know about that?
That's the thing. Like, what if this is all dungeons? I mean, I don't know. I feel like that might be asking for a lot.
Yeah. I think they
what we
just
got.
they originally mentioned one new dungeon, but I mean, I still think that if there is a new dungeon, it's probably not going to be anything like the classic dungeons.
Well, I'm sad for you, Toby.
Yeah,
I want you to have your dungeon. Like, I don't get as upset about it because personally, like, and that's why I like your videos, because it kind of lets me appreciate the dungeons in a new way where, like, otherwise I might just be frustrated where I'm like, I just don't get it. Like, this is making me feel stupid. The moments where I do feel smart, then they're kind of fleeting. where I'm like, oh, I figured it out. Oh crap, now I'm still just running around. But I like your take on it. I like Toby's take on it.
Yeah.
Toby's _take, everybody. Because yeah, man, it's just kind of like, and maybe it's because I haven't played them over and over again. Like I honestly don't even know if I've played like the beginning half of Twilight Princess maybe 3 times. And I still haven't really like locked down those dungeons, and that's the most that I've played like any one portion of a Zelda game. Maybe the first half an hour of A Link to the Past, I've played that probably 12 times. I've like started it at like forever. But I guess I just don't have that like intimate knowledge. But anyways, I wanted to get back to you talking about becoming a game designer, and this is always a dream of yours. How is this like, have you worked towards becoming a game designer aside from building the dungeons on your floor with Garfield?
So there's a PC software program called RPG Maker.
Oh yes.
And this was my first sort of foray into like actual game design. And a lot of people think, oh, it's a program for babies, like because there's no real programming involved. But you know, there is a degree of knowledge of the software itself that you need to have to be able to make a decent game. And basically, this program is designed for you to make your top-down 16-bit style role-playing games, like from the SNES era. So I've always been into them since I think RPG Maker 2000 was the first one.
I didn't realize it was that old.
Yeah, I think there's even some before that. I think.
Okay.
But yeah, like I've basically bought every single version of it since then, up to the latest one, which is called RPG Maker MV.
Okay, Toby, this is where your real nerd cred is shining. Like, I always like to point that out for everybody. Like, okay, we all like video games. That's normal. Okay, this is the nerd cred.
Yeah, and so I've always dabbled in it and made sort of little miniature games and stuff. But over the past few years, I really got deep into it, and I started making my own action RPG in this engine. And the thing is, this game engine isn't designed to be an action RPG like Zelda. It's supposed to be a turn-based RPG.
Okay.
So I've manipulated the way you can design games in it to create my own action RPG. And it works to like a degree, but I kept running into like certain weird issues, like collision is a big thing. Like,
okay, you
have
to program collision into this game or into this engine?
Yeah, because like to make an action RPG, you've got to make it so that your sword swing is. It's really hard to explain to somebody who doesn't know the program, but basically, it's tile based, and your character can move from one tile to another, and you've got an enemy that's in his own tile. But to make a sword swing, you program it so that if your character, or if the player character, presses a certain keyboard button, say it's the enter button, then it will make an event, which is a sword, which is off screen, it appear in front of the character, play an animation of a sword swing.
Yeah.
And then if that tile touches an enemy, then this will happen, and it will take health away from the enemy and knock them back. Or if they hit you, then you get damage. So it's really complicated.
How long does that take?
It takes a long time, but so does any game design. And
I mean, I guess. And that's the thing, like, as soon as you said collision, it reminded me of, I can't remember who was just talking about this, but the fact that, like, you have to program in, like, in a shooter, when a bullet either hits a wall, it has to stop, or has to, like, or when it hits an enemy, it has to, like, take off certain damage, and, like, you just don't think of that. Or even, like, menu design, or, like, where one thing takes you to the next, and, like, that could, man, I would fail at even just designing a menu. Never mind actually designing a game.
So I was making all my own artwork for it, like pixel art and everything. And
dude, holy crap.
Even for a while, because I thought this is too much for me to do all on my own, because I have a full-time job and everything. So I asked Bobby Pauls, the Nintendo guru himself, to contribute to my project. And for a while, we were working together behind the scenes. He was making art, and I was importing it into the game and everything.
No way, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so
When did he do that? This must have been before his daily streams and his 16 different podcasts.
It was probably about a year ago now.
Oh, okay. That's not that bad. That's not too long ago. So he was the Nintendo guru.
Yeah, I think so. It was just at that transitional period, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But, Bobby was taking on more and more stuff like he does. And, I felt like I was asking him for too much. And so we sort of just abandoned that project. But
so he stopped delivering is what you're saying.
Yeah, all right.
That was a really nice way of letting him off the hook.
In a roundabout way.
He was busy and whatever, but yeah, no, he just totally let me down 100%.
Yeah, anyway, so... Man, because I've had, multiple projects, going on at the same time. I've never... one of my biggest, disappointments in myself is that I've never finished a game that I've made.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody other than me and maybe my friends are able to play them. And that's always been a big disappointment. Like I said, one day I just want to finish and have a game I've made out there for other people to play.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, it doesn't seem like anybody's finishing their games. They just put them out. So maybe you should just do that and just patch it for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
What's the closest? What's the game that's closest to being released?
Right. There was another game that I was working on before the action RPG. It was a sci-fi game, and it was called Nova Skies.
No way.
Yeah, and it was about these two guys that were based on me and my friend Mike, and they were framed for murdering someone at a train station. And the actual murderer was killing young people and stealing their organs. And it's this whole big, crazy plot. And there was these two different cities. One's up in the sky, and it's a real posh futuristic city with monorails and floating vehicles and everything. And then there's another slum city that's lower down, and everything's a shanty town and everything. And the story was about these two different sort of people getting together and working together from these two different sort of social dynamics. And I had a character switching ability where you could swap between different characters and they would remain on screen, and each character would have their own unique ability. So one person's a hacking expert and they can hack into computers and security cameras and stuff. I had mini games for all these hacking abilities.
What in the world?
Yeah, and then another character is a demolition expert, and he could lay bombs, and he could he was a mechanic guy. He could turn on and off electricity. He could turn valves that would make gas appear out of pipes and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was another character. I can't remember what his skill was, but
okay, this is something else, man. Because I've heard a lot of people talk about I want to be a game designer, and I don't really know what I would do, and blah blah blah. And it's you have that knowledge from, it seems almost every aspect. You could just do that. You could just do concept, just write a game, and then have somebody else come in and do the programming and engine building and everything like that.
Well, yeah.
You just need to pick something. Just choose it and go call up Jules.
I mean, ultimately, I just want a partner to make a game with me, so that we can support each other and encourage each other to finish our work. Because you get caught in a vacuum, when you're doing something on your own and you're working so hard on it, and you're constantly questioning, is this good? Is this fun? Is it worth my time? And after a while, you get caught in a slog, and you think, this is taking so much time and effort. I doubt if anyone's ever going to play this. Am I just wasting my time?
Are you worried about being the British Phil Fish?
Well, yeah. I mean, you get
you actually feel for that
this
guy if you watch that.
Yeah.
If you watch the indie movie documentary,
you just get caught in this sort of, I don't know. It's almost like a depression of and I think that happens to a lot of game developers, especially ones that do it on their own. Yeah.
Well, it's this huge pressure on top of already it's a creative mind that creates these things, right? It's an artistic mind who creates games, and those always typically have a bit of a propensity to being very hard on yourself. You're always going to be your own worst critic, and it's about more than just the product itself. But you're right, the amount of time this is coming up with, and then you start one thing leads into another, and that path that you just described 100%, man. Like that, so is that something that keeps you away? Like what do you do now that maybe takes up the time away from what you would normally spend developing games or developing the skills to make games?
I don't know. I guess it's like I spend a lot more time playing games now, because when I was making games, that takes a lot of your free time away from playing games. So like there was a period of time when I was really deep into it that I'd go for weeks without playing anything because I'm spending so long making my own game.
When was that? Like what games were you foregoing to do that? Was that GameCube
I mean,
era
that
kind
was
of thing?
no, that was like Wii U era. Like,
oh, okay. So that leads into one of my questions I had from Bobby. Actually, he asked, "Why does Toby hate the Wii U?"
Yeah. I don't hate the Wii U. Well, I hate the console, but I don't necessarily hate the games that were on it.
Okay.
Like I think it's just a terrible system, and it's got a lot of flaws. And I know, I've gone on and on about it, and people disagree with me all the time. People love the Wii U, and I don't knock people for enjoying that console. It's just it's a frustrating experience for me.
I think you should be allowed to hate it, Toby. I think you should be more than allowed to hate it, because you're actually one of very few people who even owned it to form an opinion on it.
Yeah.
But the thing is that it led to the Switch. But I guess that's not really if that's its best quality, is that it laid on its sword to allow the Switch to resurrect from its ashes. Is that that really a thing?
I think it was just the humble pie console for Nintendo. Sony went for it as well with the PlayStation 3, although that was very successful, but there was a time when it was very expensive, nobody was buying it, and they were very cocky at the start, and I think they had to fix the error of their ways, and the PlayStation 4 was a massive success, and I think the same thing's happening with Nintendo. So,
can I ask you, do you think the Switch having all of its success, and it seems like it's not letting up, like holiday season really tells us pretty much everything we'll ever really need to know, assuming that the Switch just continues to skyrocket, I want to know your opinion on this. Do you is Nintendo deserving of the success story that it's having this year? Is this right? There's still, I've been reading a lot of articles about the Switch is an early access console and all these other things. There's a lot of features that people want that work sort of okay, it's fine that it's not there. What's Toby's take on this crazy rebound that Nintendo's having with the Switch?
So I think the Switch is a mixture of things. It's kind of it's a great console. It's very sleek and well designed for the most part. There's a few niggles with the design.
Niggles?
The dock itself, I think the design of that's not very functional to a lot of people's home setup.
Because it's upright?
Yeah, and the kickstand I think is a little bit of an issue for some people, but I think overall it's a very well designed console. It runs very quickly and smoothly. I think the battery life is great for what it does.
Totally.
I was very surprised by that. The games that are out for it, for the most part, are very good. But you're totally right. People are right in that it is an early access thing. It's released too soon. It's underbaked. When it came out, it was still soggy in the middle.
Soggy?
Yeah, it's a little bit raw in the middle.
Okay, we won't eat it just yet.
Yeah, so it needed a bit more time in the oven, and I think that's, Nintendo have done a good job with keeping up with the flow of games, getting third parties and indies to really fill those gaps. The indie games are like the chocolate chips of the console, and every now and then every now and then you get a little chocolate chip like Steamwell Dig or Snake Pass or whatever that's very Moorish and nice, and that sort of fills the gaps between all the main part of it. But I think that they've done a very good job this year with Zelda, and Mario looks exceptional. Mario and Rabbids is a really good partnership. I think Nintendo was very, very smart to do that with Ubisoft. And I think that now that Bethesda's going all in, next year, I think they're going to keep the ball rolling. And as long as they keep up with the sales, then these third parties are going to be going all in as well. So
they must be. And it's funny because like we as gamers, I think we come up with doomsday situations very, very quickly. Like I've definitely been one of them, just like from the January reveal of this is never going to take off. I can't believe they're leading with arms and 1-2 switch. Like really, guys, this is what we're getting with this thing.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to be the one to buy it first day. And then, you know, Nintendo does a really nice job of releasing it in March, and Breath of the Wild is amazing. And then they come out with that Indies, or the first Indies Direct. Everything looked really good. And then even after that, like that seemed to be enough to go, are you guys satisfied? Is this good? You've got a really nice playbook of what to expect for the next couple months. People go, yeah, but what about 2018? Meanwhile, on the other side of the camp, you've got Sony talking all about 2018. Everybody's like, yeah, but what about 2017? Like, what is wrong with people? I can't really just enjoy things, I guess is my point.
There was an interesting article where Reggie was talking about that, the way that Nintendo keep their cards very close to their chest.
Yes.
And he was saying that they don't like to talk about things too far in the future because they don't want to disappoint fans when plans aren't exactly nailed down.
Yeah, like Zelda Wii U.
Yeah, like they probably learned from that, you know, because since then they've not really announced too many games that far in the distance, you know, and I think that's a smart choice, but it does leave sort of questions about next year. You know, what have the fans really got to look forward to next year? We got a little bit of Kirby and Yoshi on the horizon, but like, you know, there's no mention of Smash or Pikmin or F-Zero or whatever. Like, who knows when Metroid's coming, you know?
Yeah, but at least it's coming. But I think that it's like one of those things. I think if you have nothing to talk about this year, like for this year, then you go, what else do we got? And you got to like maybe reach a little further or deeper into the future. But if you have stuff right in front of you, like why would you skip over that to talk about 2018? I think these are conversations that people don't really have with themselves when just furiously writing in the comment forums of why they're upset with Nintendo and why that certain podcasters are selling their Switches because 2018 they don't know what's happening in 2018, things like that. So I don't know, man. Like I'm kind of in the middle because ever since I've started driving to work and my Switch time has actually gone down quite a bit. Like I actually have to really decide when it comes time to, is it my time for Xbox or is it time for Switch? Or
the best time for Switch is toilet time.
It's poop time, of course.
Yeah.
So luckily I'm there, you know, a few times a day.
Pete, I've got a friend. My friend Mike says that he can't see any reason to buy a Switch because he would only play it docked. He thinks that he would never play it in handheld because he's not really a handheld gamer. But you know, I don't think he's realized the benefits of playing it on the toilet.
No, I mean, you lose circulation to your toes. That's going to have some sort of benefit to you.
Exactly. You get tingly toes. Sometimes it's so bad when you stand up, you can't actually move.
You just fall.
Like you have to wait for the blood to flow back in.
That's right. You might as well just hop right into the bathtub and run some warm water on your lower, everything below your waist. Yeah. You might as well wash up, actually. Just do that. It changes your entire outlook on life.
Yeah.
So what about like limited editions? Like, are you like disappointed that you like? I don't know how many Switches anybody really needs to own, and now they're starting to come out with like cool bundles and things. But as a day one owner, like, there's no need for us to like go buy any of these new, probably more exciting bundles.
Well, I think that Nintendo have sort of shown the fans that they don't really do special edition consoles. Like the Wii U had, I think, one special edition Zelda console. Yeah. But the only thing special about that was the gamepad.
Yeah, what did you think of that?
I think that sucked big time. And I was not disappointed that I didn't wait to get that. And the Switch, they've got a Mario Odyssey bundle. Like, how awesome is that? Custom console? No, console's exactly the same. It's just some red Joy-Cons. Yeah. Like, what are Nintendo thinking with that? Like, they are so great at these special edition 3DSs. Why can't they actually do something cool with the Switch?
Do you think it's coming still? Like, maybe they just haven't quite figured. Like, they're just trying to get these things out the door, man. Like, they're just.
I think that if they were going to do it with Mario Odyssey, they would have gone all out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably true. Because I was thinking the same, like Splatoon. Like I've been just kind of like waiting for something to happen, and then the Splatoon ones came out. I'm like, those are cool Joy-Cons, but you could probably do they sell them separately?
I don't know. I know
Probably
the thing
not.
is, they are doing a good job with Pro controllers. The Splatoon one looks pretty cool. The Xenoblade one looks cool. I'm surprised they didn't do a Mario one actually for that.
Maybe you'd think like maybe it's still coming, but they would have announced it. Like it's crazy that this game is a month away.
Oh yeah, I'm really excited about Mario Odyssey.
I'm not kidding, man. Like fall stresses me out. Like I've been struggling to keep up with games in 2017 as it is, and Destiny's out right now, and I keep playing that. Like that's the game that I'm actually been pulled back into for the first time in a long time. Like I'm playing Destiny for more reasons just to finish it, which is how I've played games for I think far too long. Where I'm like I just want to like it's just so easy to jump into. So I don't know, man.
How many games have you bought this year that you've barely played?
That's a great question. I've been getting better at that. I bought Grand Theft Auto 5 and I played the first 20 minutes of that and then I haven't. And like that's a game that I bought because it keeps showing up on top 10 lists. And I'm like, I guess people are still playing this. Like I want to play what people are playing, and that's the game that I bought. I got Mass Effect Andromeda for my birthday and I played a couple hours of that. I had like the trial from EA Access. And I didn't like what I saw, and then I waited for them to patch everything, and I still don't really like it. Like, it was so... I think that the adjustments they made were very superficial. Like, it didn't fix what I found to be a pretty boring game. Persona 5, that's actually my number one regret. If and it's not even like a full-on regret. It's just because I love having the Steelbook case. But I'm 10 hours into that, and I don't remember how to play it. And I hate that PlayStation 4 doesn't know how to do cloud saves. So my situation is a little weird because I go from upstairs to downstairs and it's not syncing properly.
Oh, right.
So I went, because it's been so long since I played it. I just fired it up like last week. And it's been so long since I played. I'm like, this looks kind of familiar. I'm going around. I played for a good half an hour. And I realized I've beat this dungeon already. And it's because it didn't sync up the saves. And anyway, that's my PlayStation 4 rant. But Persona 5, how about you, man? Like, how many games you got sitting around that... Like I'm gathering this question's coming from a place.
I've got a few. I bought at the start of the year Resident Evil 7. It's still in its cellophane. I've not even opened it. No,
just start it. Like even if it plays like the first hour, it's excellent.
I want to make an occasion of it for Halloween. Like I think if I tie it to Halloween, then I might play it.
Oh, but Evil Within is coming too, man.
The Evil Within. I played the first Evil Within, and
did you beat it?
No, I wasn't that keen on it because I enjoyed the gameplay of it because I'm a huge Resident Evil 4 fan.
Yes, totally.
It is basically a Resident Evil 4 semi-sequel, spiritual successor. But I had real technical issues with it
on PS4.
Evil Within, like there, especially in the starting area, like there was whole rooms in the background that you could just see popping in and out, and
what?
like. The intro cutscene where they're in the van driving through the city, like 12 frames a second, like screen tearing, like texture, like every time the camera swaps, there's no texture, and then all of a sudden it pops in, like stuff like that. It really draws me out of the experience.
What the heck?
Yeah. But another game I bought, Gravity Rush 2. I played like an hour of that and didn't keep playing it.
1/100th of that game.
Yeah. Did
you have a Vita?
No.
Oh, okay. So because that game, that Gravity Rush 1 was on Vita, right? And then this game kind of came to PS4.
Yeah, and then they ported the Vita one to PS4 as well.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
What
Horizon
made you jump on that though?
Oh, because Easy Allies were raving about it, and I was like, yeah, this sounds like my thing, and I enjoyed what I played. I just didn't keep playing it. I think something else took my attention away. Horizon Zero Dawn. Yeah. So
I'm with you on this one, man.
I bought it. I played about 2 hours, and at the same time, I was playing Zelda, and I was like, this Horizon's very handholdy. It's very clunky. I can't climb everything. It's a really beautiful game. I love the story element of it, but I just don't want to play it. I just want to play Zelda instead. So
that game has been that, like, if there's an award for like most conflicted of any game, like Like, it has everything. The more I talk to Johnny Casino about this all the time, and he describes it, and I'm like, why don't I like this game? Everything that you're describing is all I want in a game, and I just don't know why I didn't want to play it. And I was hooked on that game since, like, the first reveal. They've got the giant dinosaurs, and you pick off the different parts of it, like, with the pinpoint accuracy, everything. I should want to play that game, and I think, for me, if there's anything about it, I think it was just, like, the tribal stuff I didn't really connect with. All of the discovering what happened, I thought was brilliant. I thought it was amazing storytelling and discovering all that stuff, but it came so late.
I've heard great things about plot twists in that game and I'm so intrigued about. I could just look it up online, but I think maybe one day I'll get to it. You know?
Do you think, like, because I look at sometimes like fall is almost like a new console generation where, like, I guess I'm just going to pack up everything I had previous to this point and just, like, put in a box, lock it away. Because there's just... My good friend, neighbor Matt, who I often talk about, he did that. Because Xbox One wasn't going to be backwards compatible, of course. And he just, like, up and sold everything.
Oh.
And then, of course, we all know what happened. And he's just like, really? Yeah. So, you shouldn't do that, I don't think. Do you trade in games very much?
Occasionally. Yeah. I mean, I've done it more this year than any other year for some reason. I don't know. I just think I've like, especially with my Wii U library, because I bought a lot of Wii U games, and that's a console. That's a console that I'll probably never go back to. Like, I don't know. I'm really iffy about if I'll ever play it again.
Both my brothers have a Wii U, and they haven't upgraded to Switch or anything. They've got Wii U's and PlayStation 3s, and every Sunday they're like, "You want to play Mario Kart 8?" I'm like, "Not on that thing. Like, not really. Like, I have it here. Like, it's like it's. I could, and that's the disc inside. But, like, guys, like, you're gainfully employed. Can you just please, like, get with the times?" I even find it weird. I'm watching TV now, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe commercials are running on TV. Like, Nintendo is so strange. I guess that's if you're gonna get somebody to jump in on Switch, that's the game that you put in front. We mentioned Bobby Pauls, we mentioned Mike Drummy, and I had one more question from Bobby. He asked, what's it feel like to lose your best friend Mike to Bobby? What's the situation here?
There's a bit of a feud building here.
Okay, like, Bobby likes that. He likes to drive wedges in between people.
He does, doesn't he? Yeah, he really does.
We'll just shit all over him for the rest of the show here, so you know it's coming to him. I'm just kidding. I love you, Bobby. We're all here because of him.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Bobby secretly brings everyone together.
That's right. Yeah, we'll just give him all the credit. Now his head's enormous. He won't be able to walk through the door.
So, sure.
Okay.
I got a question for you now.
All right.
I'm going to switch the interview around. So, earlier on we were talking about my aspirations as a game developer. Do you have any big aspirations or dream jobs, as it were?
Okay, I love this question, and I was actually asked this by my new boss at work, and I was too shy to give him the real answer. Because, like, if I won the lottery... Okay, I think there's two different things, and I think I should ask this question for more people. I think if I won the lottery, like the Powerball, like the American, like $350 million, you don't have to worry about a damn thing for 100 lifetimes over.
That's a great question. I love that question.
Me too, man. And you know what it would be? Like, I would do this. Like, I would podcast, and I would stream, I would play games for a living, and I would fund myself so that I didn't have to worry about, like, giving up a full-time gig to do this. This would just be incredible. And it's funny how it seems like when people are well-funded for their streaming, like, they've got the great gear, they've got great background, everything looks great, that attracts more people, and, like, those people tend to be more, even though there's others who maybe aren't quite so well off, and they're trying their damnedest, and they just can't attract a crowd because everything doesn't look quite right. I think if I won the lottery, I would do this 100%. Like, this is the most fun that I've ever done doing anything, and I've done, like, a lot of stupid creating things. When you talked about bending the RPG Maker, in ways, like, neighbor Matt and I used to bend Windows Movie Maker in strange ways. Like, there was hacks that you could use, chroma keying, like before, it wasn't made to use like blue screens or green screens behind you, but we found ways, and we would cover my garage with
I
blue
love
poster
that stuff.
board.
Yeah.
And like we would make driving scenes, like I'd be sitting in my car and my
Dude,
garage
that's
door.
awesome.
I gotta find this coverage, dude, because like we used to do things like we drive around neighborhoods and hang cameras out the window and get like the shot of the wheel turning, and we'd have like
No
these
way.
fake chase scenes. It was me against like this oh no, it was actually neighbor Matt against himself. He was a white ninja and a black ninja, but the black ninja was masked. And so the black ninja's chasing the white ninja around, and we went around to like this construction site and shot all these racing scenes. And then
Dude.
white ninja ends up blowing up. He finds this like briefcase and discovers there's a bomb inside. And he's like, "Oh my god, and then it just explodes. And then the black ninja's there, and he uncovers his mask, and it's neighbor Matt underneath, and it's so bad, but it's so good, and it's all made on like stupid Windows Movie Maker.
So that is awesome. Like, so you're a director, really?
Oh man, well, we used to do like my birthday parties used to be like reality TV shows. Like one day I went to the bathroom and I'm like, what if my birthday party we just like set up cameras everywhere, and we had drinking competitions, and people would vote each other off of their teams, and like none of it made any sense. It was so stupid. But we had like diary rooms like Big Brother, like people would sit on the deck, and we had a green sheet behind them, and we could insert like different backgrounds and stuff.
Sure. You got to get back to this,
dude. Like this was a thing. I used to.
Did you study film?
No, we just messed with stuff, dude.
I studied film at college, and I was like, that's another dream job of mine, being a film director. And a part of my college studies is I would make short films like what you were just describing. A little bit more dark and twisted, like not so much ninjas chasing
Probably
each other.
a little bit more substantial. Yeah.
But yeah, like that's another big passion of mine that I've not really got into for the past few years, you know. So maybe one day we can collab on something. That'd be really,
man. Like some of these things
cool.
are so like, that's why they talk about it takes the passion, right? Because a lot of times it doesn't pay the bills, and I'm way too conservative to try anything like that. And even like the ultimate answer to your question was like, if I were to go do anything else, I really respect and admire people who can just kind of like reinvent themselves and take that like and not take 17 steps back. Like I look like a guy like Peter Moore, who, you know, went from Xbox to EA, or even previous to Xbox. Like he just kept reinventing himself. Like he came from like what, Duracell or something, I can't remember. He came something totally unrelated to games, and then came into Xbox, and then launched 360 and led that to everything. And that now he's this, what is he, the CEO of Liverpool? Like he's
some football club. Yeah,
man, like how the frick do you do that? And like just he keeps moving up in the world. And I think, I don't even know what that is, Toby, but like something that is really ultimately like the dream is like, if I were to pick something and just go do it, that would just be incredible. I just don't know exactly what that is. I guess maybe something in like marketing in games. Like that's kind of what, it's not as big a jump, but I guess that would be kind of like, right now I'm in basically within the framework of charity and fundraising, and that basically is the path that's set in front of me. Unless I were to go into even just something for profit, would be pretty different for me.
I mean, career changes are massive because working takes up such a huge amount of time in your life. Like everything you do revolves around like your job and your lifestyle, and you know, pretty much everything you do costs money as well. And just living costs money. Just existing, like me in this house right now, I am spending money. Like every minute is rent money that's going through. And so like having a big life change like that, a job change, is very, very scary. And some people like Peter Moore can probably do it a bit more easy because they've got the financial sort of stability. Like he's a multi-millionaire probably, so it's not like
that's true.
If he changes job and it doesn't work out, he's on hard times. Like probably not. But you know, so like if you were to go and change jobs and it doesn't work out, then you might be in a bit more of a scary situation.
We're all starving.
Yeah,
exactly. Eat the dogs, I think.
Yeah,
well,
I mean,
hot
you know,
dogs.
You got a little Lincoln to look after, so
he doesn't really eat much. Like Chelsea can pretty much sustain him for the next little while. So that's kind of good. That's actually great though. I'm so grateful that she takes care of that, because like we don't have to spend money on formula or anything, and we're very lucky, because I know that doesn't work out for everyone.
I was having a bit of a moment before I came up to
I wanted to
record,
talk to you. You never talk about this with Bobby at all. Bobby
No,
doesn't give a
'cause Bobby
damn.
he doesn't care about
He
children.
doesn't.
So.
I know he doesn't care about
Yeah.
you. That's the thing.
No.
Let's be. He cares about other kids for some reason.
Let's be honest. Yeah.
When like you're coming down to the wire, man. Like you've got a couple
we've
months
got
left.
about 11 weeks left.
Okay. Okay, so things are getting serious. How's she feeling?
She's starting to get a bit fed up. So pregnancy is 3 stages, right? So you got 3 trimesters.
Mm-hmm.
The first one, she was very, very tired all the time.
Do you find that nobody talks about that? Like I was surprised. And not that like I'd be like, yes, please sleep. Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Like, the things that you're doing right now.
Exactly, like it's amazing that she's just growing life inside of her,
Yes.
and it's like that obviously takes a lot of energy. So I don't blame her for being tired.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to the second trimester, and it's like this magical period of she's really happy. She's not too large to be weighed down by it, and all that. There's lots of good things in the second trimester, and then you start getting towards the end, the third trimester, and thing like she's getting bigger, she's getting back pain, she can't bend down to pick things up, she's a little bit more short-tempered with things, and it's like like you start getting to that, you obviously all about it more than I do, but like I'm getting a little bit scared. Like,
is she liking it though otherwise? Like because there's definitely like things that are very uncomfortable, but like it's like Chelsea really, she would describe like she really liked being pregnant.
I think she loves feeling her move in her stomach, and that's something that has surprised me that I've enjoyed a lot. Like every day now, like it's because she starts getting active at certain times of the day. So like after a meal, she'll start kicking around and stuff, or in the evening, she's very active before bed. So like just before I came up here to record, I was just like sitting next to Karina, hand on her bum, just feeling the kicks and the little scrapes on the skin. And it's like so weird. Like the feeling of it is so weird. But it's almost like, so like in those films, you see 2 characters and on different sides of a glass window or something.
Oh, yeah.
Someone puts their hand on the window and then you put your hand on the other side. Yeah, exactly. It is a not Penny's boat moment. Not quite as dramatic as that, but yeah, like I'm palm to palm, and it's amazing. Yeah,
so you excited?
Very
You've been excited
yeah.
from day one, which I love. Like this has obviously been the plan. Like how long have you guys been wanting kids? Has it been from kind of day one?
Yeah, I mean, we always knew that someday we'd want kids, and we were trying for about a year. Yeah. And then it happened. So, yeah, I mean, every time we go like food shopping now, we buy something baby related.
Yeah.
Like you can't not. Like whether it's an outfit or some kitchen gadget or like a piece of furniture or a teddy or something, like you always get something. So
look at the smile on your face. Everybody's got to watch the video. As soon as you start talking about this, it's just ear to ear. That is such a good sign. I'm so happy for you guys. And it's like, so right around Christmas, is that what that ends up working out to be? Like mid-December?
Her due date is actually December 5th.
That's great. Yeah. You'll have a couple days to get into Xenoblade, and then that's it. You can sit in the hospital with your Switch, and that'll be. That was something I didn't do. I thought for sure, like.
No way, Karina would kill me if I took a gadget like that. There,
Chelsea encouraged me to do it, and I had both my Vita and my Switch with me, but I couldn't bring myself. I couldn't even bring myself like to go grab a bite of a sandwich. Like Chelsea was pushing for 3.5 hours or whatever it was, and I'm like, I don't even think I can like leave. Like, and it's so funny too. The things that it's all about perspective and everything is relative. You're like, my feet hurt. Like, really? Like, don't say anything.
Yeah.
I guess the unsolicited advice I would have is like, just don't say anything. Just keep it all. Well, actually, I don't know if that's helpful either. But yeah.
The thing is, all right. So I don't want to get too far into this because it could get a little. But like, how squeamish are you? Like,
Chelsea thought I was way more squeamish than I turned out to be. Like, I think I did pretty well with all that.
I'm pretty squeamish, and I'm worried about being in the room when it happens. Like, am I going to be the one who's on the floor, sweating, fainting? Like, because
I feel like you play enough video games. Like if it didn't turn you into a murderer, so it probably hardened you enough for at least childbirth.
I don't know, man. We went to a doctor's appointment the other day.
Oh no.
And Karina had a blood test.
Uh-huh.
And I get real funny about needles and drawing blood and stuff.
So does Chelsea, actually. She hates needles.
So, and Karina's got these veins that just disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they have real trouble getting blood. And they give, like, a running commentary of, like, what's happening. And so I'm sitting there next to... I'm, like, not looking, right? Trying to look at the floor, staring at my feet.
Uh-huh.
And then I can feel, like, my palms getting sweaty. And I'm, like... I'm just sort of rubbing my palms, wiping them on my jeans, deep breathing. And then the lady goes, you might want to go and have a lay down. So then I get up, go and lay down on the bed, like trying not to think about it because I'm feeling really weak.
Uh-huh.
And Karina's there having her arms stabbed up and everything. So like, if that happens to me in that situation, what am I going to be like when it actually goes down?
You know, okay, so a couple of things. Number one, I think if you do feel wheezy while it's happening, 100% understandable. Like, it's just something that you've never... There's nothing that can prepare you for it. That's what people always said to me, and I don't know... I wish there was something I could offer other than the fact that, like, when you're in it, it just grips you. Like, I don't know if you've ever experienced anything like that in life where you're just, like... Where you almost have to, like, you seize the opportunity. And you know what? You've proposed. That gave you the... Like, it's something that, like... Otherwise would like it's a terrifying concept. It's like how am I ever gonna do this? Getting married, like you've taken steps that have like built you up in more ways than I think that you recognize. And maybe these are things that you reflect upon after the fact. But it's one of those, you're in the moment and you're like, you just do it. I don't know how else to describe it, man. I think that I think you're gonna be great. I think the fact that you're so excited to be a dad, you're just gonna want to. And also the partnership you have with Karina, I think like you're just going to help. Like you just want to be there and like, yeah, man, like whether or not like you're right up in it, like waiting for the baby to come out at your face, like that's maybe something else.
Yeah,
but like
I don't think that's going to be happening. But
and the other, like you worked yourself up on the stabbing. Like it's a thing. Like that's so. This is totally new. So I actually think that that's even better. That you can't prepare for it. You can't even begin to understand what everything looks like and all that kind of stuff. I think you're gonna be good, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched birthing vlogs like on YouTube of like couples that take the camera in with them. Obviously, they don't show the gory stuff, but like the whole experience, like the emotions and everything that they feel is amazing. And I get emotional watching it, and I feel like what you're saying, you get wrapped up in the moment, and it's not something that you're just gonna want to lay down for, you know.
Pretty much, like this thing. It sounds awful, just for the fact of like how much time it takes. Like when I remember thinking like, oh my goodness, people are in labor for like days. How is that even possible? Or even for like half of a day, 12 hours. I can't even drive for half of a day. How am I going to do? How am I going to be a support for that long? Yeah. And then like when you're in it, like time is just so strange. Like it just, even like you're in between pushes, you're in between, like everything is so segmented out. And I don't know, maybe that makes it a little easier. I don't know. It just, we're built for this. Like this is the most natural thing. I can't wait for you, dude. And we'll have like Lincoln and his little cousin from across the pond. They'll be podcasting together. It'll be amazing.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Okay, man.
I've got one thing I want to ask you.
Yeah, man.
So last night, no, this morning actually. First thing this morning, you sent me a message, and I was very nervous about coming on here. But when I saw this message, I was at ease.
Oh, good.
Because Sean sent me a message saying, "I've made a horrible mistake. I'm just heading to bed. Talk to you soon." So I was like, "Oh, okay. I can relax now." Like Sean's messing up. I don't know what you did, whether you want to share it or not, but.
Oh no, I just played games too late.
You were just up too late, right?
My mistake was that I was up too late. I feel like I'm not doing myself any favors, but I've been kind of sick over the last week or so, and it's been I was getting better Monday, Tuesday. Like I was on If We Were on Nintendo on Tuesday, and I'm like, okay, if I can do this, I'm feeling a little better. Like my throat was still kind of messy. I went into work on Wednesday, and by the end of the day, I'm like, oh no. Oh, this is why I stay home. And then I just kind of like got even more sick. Yesterday, I had to go to a wedding. And I should have been resting, and I should have got my sleep last night. Today I'm a little if you're watching the video, I'm a little red and I'm a little sweaty. Like this is just, I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best here. This is not very pretty. But my mistake was Destiny, man. I was playing a little Overwatch with the informant, Andy and Johnny Casino. And just kind of like, because I think it was their first time playing.
I think they asked me on Twitter if I wanted to join, but I was asleep.
Do they even know what time zones are?
No, probably not.
Fairly inconsiderate. Or maybe they just don't even recognize I don't know. Maybe they went backward. No, that wouldn't have worked either. Anyway, I'm trying to let them off the hook. I'm finding it hard to do. So I played that for a little bit, and then I found some other friends playing some Destiny. They were in Crucible, and I'm like, I'll play a round of Crucible, and that's it. And then they quit playing Crucible. They jumped into Strikes. They're like, "Come on, the Strikes with us." I'm like, "Okay, I guess I'm." And then it was an hour later, and that was maybe 7 hours ago now. So I've changed a couple diapers since then, so that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing well.
It's good times, man. Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Normally I finish the show with what are you looking forward to for the rest of 2017? Anything other than Mario Odyssey?
Player Unknown Battlegrounds.
Nice.
I am I bought. That's the reason I bought an Xbox One, was to play this game, because Microsoft announced at E3 that they're partnering with them, and it's coming first to Xbox. And so, like, me and my friend Mike and Alex,
your
like,
friend.
Yeah, my best friend Mike, not Bobby's best friend. I've known Mike for years now.
Yeah, get away, Bobby.
Yeah.
Gosh.
So we're desperate to play this game, and I'm so excited for it.
I can't wait to play with you.
I'm excited to the point where I might just buy it on PC just to play it early, and then get it on Xbox as well. So I don't know, man, but
I'm excited for that. I'm in the exact same place of, if I didn't have like so many other things already going, like the fact that it's got a release date, I can kind of like let that be. That's the only thing. But like, I feel like if you and maybe just a couple other people pick it up and go, guys, Saturday, it's happening on PC, or whatever the day ends up being, like, just putting it out there. If somebody were to make a move, I don't really have. I'm not even like hovering over the brakes. I'm hovering over the gas pedal.
Exactly, like, because I've got a pretty good laptop, but it's quite an intensive game, and like my friend's got a good laptop, and my other friend's got a good PC, and it's like we're all thinking, should we bite the bullet? Is it going to run well enough? Are we going to be at a disadvantage because we're not really PC players? Because you can plug a controller in, but are you really at a huge disadvantage? So we're all umming and ahhing about it. I think as soon as somebody pulls the trigger, we're all going to be in on it. So.
Oh, man. Okay, well, I can't wait. Do you think it's just an optimization thing? Like, because it's indie, because it's early access, that some of the weaker like PCs out there aren't able to run it? And is that coming?
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
Every patch they either break something or they fix something. So, that's just the way it is with those sort of games, early access games. But I read something interesting that because they're partnering with Microsoft, they're using Rare's Sea of Thieves Ocean engine.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah,
so
like
random.
that is so cool, because they were like, our game's great, it looks really cool, but the water physics aren't great. So we think
that you can't shoot through the water, like the bullets stop when they hit the water.
I don't know, maybe.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just spreading rumors now.
But yeah, so the thing is, like, if they use that in their game, can they then port that part of the game to PS4 if that ever comes?
That's what I want. Or like, what piece does Microsoft get? It sounds like everything. I feel like I'm repeating myself, which is why I do this show the way that I do, so that I don't end up repeating what I hear on other shows. But ultimately, what I've heard is that like the PS4 version is just so far away. Like that, like they've put all.
Yeah,
this
I hope
effort
it
into
is.
the PC. Me too, man. I hope this is a true like console, even just for the sake of what a console exclusive is, or even a time like. I just hate all that messiness that comes with it because people get really fed up with it. I just hope that this is an actual thing and not quite as flaky as some of the things we've seen in the past from Microsoft.
Yeah.
Okay, dude. Why don't we finish there? We could go on forever because I could ask you about all the toys behind you, and there's another shelf on the other side that I'm not really sure what I'm even looking at.
PlayStation 1 games on both of those
shelves. Is that what that is? There's 100 jewel cases over there.
Yeah, and then at the top we've got board games and card games.
See, now that we're doing recurring guests, we'll have another show dedicated to that shelf.
Yeah, all right then.
That sounds sweet. Well, tell everybody where they can find you and all the things that you're up to on the internet, as if they didn't already know.
All right, so you can find me on Twitter at Toby's_take. I occasionally tweet on there. I'm not a Twitter expert.
Good sell. Good sell.
Yeah, I mean, I mainly use it to poke fun at Bobby whenever I can. So, yeah. I am on Instagram at Amiibo_workshop. So called because of my Amiibo customization stuff. But yeah, we'll get into that next time maybe. Okay. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm obviously on the Nintendo PlayStation podcast on the Nintendo Guru channel.
Nice, man. Well, this was awesome. I'm glad we finally got around to this, and we just waited for video. That was the whole thing. We just like 100 episodes, whatever. That doesn't count. We're on episode 5.
Yeah.
Sweet, man. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Holy crap. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it. That was Toby's best appearance on a podcast. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you so much. Toby Thornton, finally. Make sure I'm practicing how to talk here on the end of the podcast. Make sure to follow Toby at Toby's_take. He's on Instagram, Amiibo_workshop. I can't believe that just happened. That was a Zelda, of course. I had to play some Zelda music, by the way, everybody. That was from OC Remix. It was Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, Face Your Nightmares. That's pretty ominous. I don't think I knew that that's what the title was until I literally just said that. I've been copying and pasting it into my schedule, into the notes here, everywhere, but that's the first time I'm coming across that. It's Face Your Nightmares. All right, if you say so, OC Remix. Thank you again for listening, and thank you to our brand new patrons, Mike Drummy, executive producer, by the way, and Jesse Sackin. Jesse, you are the man. I don't know if you're listening to this, because I came across you first on If We Ran Nintendo with Bobby, and I saw Bobby work his magic, where I would have just, like, thought, it's an angry commenter. Bobby says, that's an engaged person. I thank you so much for supporting all these shows. It's thanks to you guys that we are becoming even better. 2 more shows coming per month. I mentioned at the top of the show, we're going to have recurring guests. I know a lot of you guys who've been on the show have been asking for this, and it's going to happen. I'm going to make some time for it. Somehow, this is amazing. This is, as I said to Toby, this is the dream come true, and thank you guys so much for making it more and more a part of my life, and is becoming more part of your lives. And I really appreciate you guys taking the time to listen and watch whatever you do, subscribing on iTunes, Google Play, youtube.com/WeTheNerdy. I'm going to try and do some more streaming. I was talking to Andrew Semicek from We The Nerdy, and I think I'm going to do some like quick time reviews where maybe while I play a game, I'll be in the corner kind of like talking about what I think of the game, and sort of like a review format, kind of a way so that I don't have to write 1,000 words for a review. It might even just be like quick impressions, my hot take, Sean's take instead of Toby's take. So let me know what you guys think of that. I'll try and jump into that pretty quickly. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean Capri, Sean like Connery, Capri like the pants. The show, We the GamerCast, all one word. I'm really proud of how the Xbox Drive is doing. I'm really enjoying that show. I do it while I drive to work. It's on iTunes and Google Play. You find it on DaceSpace.com. Also, the Xbox Drive. .com. That's a place. So yeah, thank you guys. Patreon.com/makeusbetter. My reviews for Project Cars 2 is on We The Nerdy right now, and later this week will be WRC 7. It's a rally game, rally racing. So I'm sort of on the racing circuit right now on the review scores. Thank you to our artists, Gary Gray and Adam Leonard, our video designer, Antonio Guillen. Remember, this show is powered by the DaceSpace network of podcasts, where you can find other great shows such as the Nintendo PlayStation podcast, Topic Nintendo, the Warp Whistle podcast, the Xbox Drive, so many other great shows, so check out DaceSpace.com. Otherwise, this is episode 105. It's in your ears and your eyeballs. Thank you again for listening. I'll be back next week. I hope you're there too. Now it's time for Jason. Jason.
Jason! 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 Sean! 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 Sean, where are you? Jason! 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 Sean! 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 Jason! 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 Jason!